If you're watching this, chances are you've probably been on a dating app at some point in your life.
It's literally basically trying to match people based on they're hot or not.
Dr. Vivek Nandur is a postdoc researcher at the University of Chicago Booth School of Business. He's part data scientist, part economist, but really he's an aspiring DJ who just got this PhD to make his Indian parents happy.
We all actually have 9 lives of the kind of person we're trying to be.
Okay.
So I have my data scientist life, I have my DJ life.
He basically spends his time doing math on why your love life is a dumpster fire right now.
Our brains are constrained by our computational capacity, and a million options is just too much for our brains.
Is it just going to be my AI chatbot talking to your AI chatbot?
Exactly. That's why.
Can he use data science to tell me why a dating app's algorithm thinks my most compatible match is Sanjay from 70 kilometers away, whose niche interest is travel, the office, and getting his hoodie back from me when I steal it?
I mean, yes and no. I would agree with that, except for I do think there is somebody perfect for you.
Do you think it's possible that Hinge has like the perfect husband for me on the app and is going to deliberately withhold that profile so that I keep coming back?
I mean, probabilistically, yes.
So let's meet the man who turned our terrible dating lives into a viable career path. Have you dabbled in the dating app world?
I have. I guess I was successful because I met my wife on Bumble.
Yeah. There's no more glowing endorsement than you finding your wife on a platform like this. And I really think it speaks to how technology is disrupting or really changing the way that we interact at an interpersonal level at large.
And if you think of, we were both in Toronto. She lived like sort of on the west side. I lived like closer to the university. In our just normal way of doing things, we would have never like bumped into each other.
Paths.
So that's the main benefit.
How do dating apps at a fundamental level work? Like, why do all the matches I get slowly erode my self-esteem and sense of self-worth?
Well, we don't have time to get into that, but I can explain the first part.
Okay.
Which is that essentially using a dating app it's a trade-off compared to how dating worked before. You could only sort of meet one person at a time. So the sort of throughput of your experience is going to be very slow. But with dating apps, you can now look over a wide swath of potential matches and really filter for exactly what you want. But that's a good and a bad thing, because one, you may not even know what you want. And then the other real problem is that the dating app layout and architecture focuses on photos.
Oh.
And that is really different, because everybody, no matter how good you look or how bad you look, looks different in real life. And you can't really even sense somebody's presence through the photo. If I had to give advice for people on dating apps, you have to somehow try and make that come through.
Make the aura
transfer. Or like whatever it is that you're obsessed with, somehow
put it out there.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about having a profile be mutually exclusive and collectively exhaustive. Let each aspect of the profile speak to a different dimension of your identity and who you are, and let it completely, at least to the extent that you can, capture who you are.
I just yesterday heard about some concept called the 9 lives. Have you heard about this?
No, what is
Which is that we all actually have 9 lives of the kind of person we're trying to be.
Okay.
So I have my data scientist life, I have my DJ life, and I guess some other ones in there. But trying to sort of highlight each one of those through the photos, I think is.
Not just hobbies, but also maybe your important relationships.
Yeah.
Okay, so can you tell me more about how the algorithm recommends profiles to me, and how do I improve the quality of the profiles that I'm getting?
I think the algorithms are trying to match people based more or less on popularity. Some users will be more popular than others. That's just the reality of life. And the dating apps are trying to kind of match people along those dimensions. But again, that's a really narrow view, because how they're defining popularity is itself narrow, and the data that they're using is very narrow. So it's literally basically trying to match people based on, okay, they're hot or not.
Do you think it's possible that Hinge has like the perfect husband for me on the app and is going to deliberately withhold that profile so that I keep coming back?
Yeah.
It's possible. Do you
Very
think they
possible.
have that amount of data on me based on my behavior and my swiping? Like,
It depends how long you've been using it, and the other sort of prompts you're filling out. But it's totally possible.
can dating apps purchase behavior data on users from other companies like Netflix to improve the matches that you're getting?
Totally. But again, the question is, what is a dating app trying to do at the end of the day? Are they trying to find you the perfect match?
They're just trying to give me good enough matches to where I'm satisfied. Because if it was total crap, then I would never go on to
Absolutely.
begin with.
That's why it's a balance.
But if it were perfect, then I would get off it in the first go. Are dating apps making us feel more and more confused and hopeless because of the deluge of options that we are presented with every day?
There's this phenomena known as the paradox of choice. Theoretically, it should be true that if I gave you a million options, one of those options is going to be perfect for you. So why shouldn't I just give you a million options compared to 5 options? Well, because our brains are constrained by our computational capacity, and a million options is just too much for our brains. And so that's happening day after day after day on these dating apps. And then, you get into the sort of self-esteem issues, especially for people who can't find matches, and then their friends are going on all these dates. And you can see how this downward spiral goes
How do you
on.
reconcile that though with the idea that dating is a numbers game? Like so many people say, oh, the more people you meet, the more likely you are to find the right match.
For sure. The classic experiment on this was done in a grocery store setting, which we've all been there, where we're trying to decide for like what pasta sauce to get. And if there are 100 options that you have to sort of search over, it's going to be really, really tough. But Trader Joe's, what their hallmark is to really just give a few high quality options. And you can kind of just trust, like, okay, there's only 4 sauces here. Boom.
It's easier to make a decision.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because like my grandmother and like their generation, they would always say like, itne sare log, like don't talk to so many people, especially at the same time, because you'll get confused.
Exactly.
And that's their whole thing. Okay, oh, you'll get confused. Better to just stick with one person.
Definitely.
And accept that no individual is perfect for you, and that in any case you're gonna have to make it work. So just focus on, narrowing in.
I mean, yes and no. I would agree with that, except for I do think there is somebody perfect for you, like in the sense that somebody you feel that you can be your true self in every capacity, in every setting. That person, I think, exists, hopefully.
You believe in soulmates?
I mean, probabilistically, yes.
Wow.
In the sense that there are so many people in this world. And the main benefit of the trade-off of dating apps is it allows you to scan this very thick market. So in that sense, yes, but it requires an intense amount of effort.
Do men and women place different value on different factors like income, education, and like what they say versus what they actually want in a partner?
When income increases, acceptance rate increases. But that's not true for men viewing a woman's profile. Well, it's very culturally relevant.
Specific.
It's I don't think that generalizes to the US or to Europe.
So in India in particular,
yeah.
a woman earning more is like raising a little bit of question mark.
Especially in the highest sort of
Income bracket.
It really is striking.
To me, I think there's a lot of family involvement. And for a guy and his family, the idea of the daughter-in-law earning a lot probably implies that she's very career oriented, very ambitious, will likely dedicate a lot of her time to her career, which may take time away from family related activities.
Absolutely.
In India, it's such a communal society, and a lot of times women take up the labor of elder care, of child care, of home management.
Just a lot of unpaid labor that women are doing, for sure. But I mean, if we follow that logic all the way through, well, if the woman is making that much money, she'll be able to afford, more care and
help.
So it kind of doesn't actually make sense.
Everyone's talking about AI. How can AI help people in their dating life, whether it's at the level of scanning profiles, like reading text, coaching?
So one thing that AI is definitely doing is it's raising the floor. But what that also means is it's harder and harder to actually differentiate yourself.
Well, is it just going to be my AI chatbot talking to your AI chatbot?
Exactly. That's why just meet people. Just take a flyer and see, what they're actually like.
Unless you're dating ChatGPT. Tell me, do you know about this phenomenon where people
I have heard about it,
having, because there was that movie, right? Her.
Brilliant movie, yeah.
Yeah, and so now that's kind of becoming a reality. What are your thoughts on that?
Totally. That's it's a dark equilibrium, I'll say that. But
do you think that the AI bot can in some way replicate the meaningful nature of a human relationship?
Let's say we're talking about somebody who has had a lot of terrible outcomes with dating apps. They've been on these apps for years. Their self-esteem is cratering. But now there's somebody who can talk to them and can sort of lift them up. Are we gonna judge that person and say like, oh, I can't believe you're doing this?
Yeah, it's so interesting. It's almost paradoxical because on the one hand, we talk about the loneliness epidemic and how people are becoming more and more isolated because of technology. But on the other hand, like that kid who was bullied growing up and didn't have a lot of friends and is now an adult who works a remote job, like maybe that technology could be a source of connection, even if it's not technically with another human. It can help you talk you through the dating process, coach you a little bit, give you advice. So give you those actionable tools that you need to perform better, especially in the initial phase of courting, where really like first impressions make a big difference, can be make or break.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do be sure to hit subscribe, like the video, share it with your friends who may be navigating dating apps themselves, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.